So what happens when a white monkey job goes wrong? Well, you're going to find out in this video, and for those of you who don't know what a white monkey job is, it's basically a job that's offered to foreigners here in China, and I suspect in other Asian countries as well, like Japan, etc., Korea, where the only qualification for the job is that you are a foreigner. And so you'll be used as kind of a badge of honor, and you'll be dragged around and put on display to give the company credibility, or the organization, or whatever it is. So let's get into the video and get cracking. Hey there guys, and welcome to another video. I'm actually here with a digital nomad, so how about an introduction?
Hello guys, my name is Barbara. I've been living as a digital nomad for 3 years now.
3 years?
Yes.
Okay, so basically that means you don't really have a home, you just travel around?
Exactly.
That's cool, and you've actually made it into sort of a career, right? You have a pretty big Instagram following.
Yes.
And do you have a YouTube channel?
Yes, I do have a YouTube channel,
Okay.
but it's not my focus at the moment.
Okay, so basically your main focus is Instagram?
Yes.
Okay.
And my travel blog, Barbaralicious.
Okay, Barbaralicious.
Yes.
There will be links for you guys who are curious, but there's a reason why I have Barbaralicious here today in this video, and that is I'd like to talk about these sort of, how can we put it, these sort of free travel offers that you might get if you live in China, or if you're just a semi-well-known foreigner, or somebody who writes a blog or has a YouTube channel like I do, etc., because I get approached all the time. But I'd like you to kind of tell your story, if you can, just kind of briefly explain what happened to everybody and how it all came about.
Okay, so yeah, as you said, when you're a travel blogger, you get those invitations to press trips, fam means familiarization, so you learn everything you can in a very short time about a certain place or country, which is pretty awesome. And normally you get accommodation and food, and if you're lucky as well, flights and transportation for free.
Sure.
Which is amazing,
yeah,
right?
It sounds fantastic. And they always approach me by saying, hey, do you want a free holiday to Hainan, or do you want a free holiday to Dalian or Yunnan type thing? And I'm like, what's the catch? And they're like, well, make a couple videos about it, because they know I have a following on YouTube. I don't do that out of principle personally, because that's not what my channel's about. So I don't like to take any kind of paid advertising. But on top of that, I've heard stories about the fact that they don't really give you enough time to do anything, and you don't have any time to yourself really. So is that the case?
Yeah, unfortunately that's true. If you're lucky, you have the evening free, so you can edit your stuff, you can create your content, whatever it is, videos, blog posts, or photos. But very often that's not the case, and that just happened to me here in China, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We had a full schedule of at least 12 hours per day, sometimes 15 hours per day.
It's ridiculous.
It's really ridiculous. And yeah.
Well, okay, let's try to put this into perspective for everyone over there.
Yes.
So a company approached you to say, yeah, you've got a big following on Instagram, we'd like you to come out, you've got a blog, we'd like to show you all the nice sort of touristy things about Yunnan. It was in Yunnan, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yunnan's a beautiful place, by the way. Absolutely stunning. It's stunning out there.
Yeah.
So usually it's a local tourism board of that, province, or it could be a company, like a travel company, who knows. But they want you to go out there, they want to show you the sights, and then they want you to write about it and take some photos and things, right?
Yes.
That's the idea, which sounds perfect. I mean,
Yes.
it sounds like a great deal. But in reality, in China, they try to get every penny's worth. So can you explain kind of what your daily rigmarole would be when you were there?
So you have to get up between 6 and 7 a.m.
Okay.
Then we had breakfast together, and they were already there with their cameras because they wanted to do a promo video for the region, which is something unusual already, because as a travel blogger, you work with your following, right?
Yeah.
So you already do the work when you're testing stuff.
Yeah.
When you have, in addition, a camera team following you on every step, and everything you do is on camera, and you need to start acting, you have to be smiling the whole time. It adds up. It's too much, and you can't do the work that you were actually hired for anymore.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a misconception here, because in China, they don't actually care that much that you have a big following. I mean, the fact that you're a famous, semi-famous person on the internet is what they care about.
Yeah.
So then when they make their local productions for the local TV shows, they can say, we have this famous blogger. Look how happy she is. Look how much she likes our China. Look how much she likes our province. Look how much she likes our food.
Yeah.
So it's more about what they can get out of it for their own productions. They don't really care about what you make for your own sort of audience. That's just a bonus.
Yeah. Well, it's a bonus for them, but for me that's essential, because that's what I live from, right? I need to post daily on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. I need to post at least once a week on my blog, if possible twice a week. If I'm out there shooting and getting shot for 15 hours per day, I can't do that anymore. So how can I make a living as a travel blogger?
Sure.
It would mean that I'm inactive in all my networks for 2 whole weeks, and that would kill my blog.
Well, that's actually the whole crux of this matter, and what I really want to address here is that they do expect you to be working sort of 15 hours a day, and it's like work. They will march you from one place to another, take a whole bunch of photos, right? Film the whole thing. You have to basically be like you're not paid for it either, right? They pay for your flights, they pay for your visas, they pay for those, but it's not paid work. They don't say here's a salary. So what happens is you basically are doing proper acting work, really. And like you say, it starts early in the morning, and they'll take you to a restaurant, and then you have to be happy about that restaurant and say how cool the restaurant is. Take you to a tourist place, you have to say, oh, look at the amazing history, and blah, blah, blah. Next place, look how great this is. And next thing you know, it's what, 10, 11 at night, and you're still not back at the hotel?
Sometimes midnight, it was midnight once. And
okay, I mean, it is ridiculous, and it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's really taking the piss. But they do this, this. So I'm curious, how did the other people, because it wasn't just you that was invited, right? There were other people invited. How did the other people react to this whole situation?
Yeah, most of them were pretty pissed. Unfortunately, they didn't really stand up for themselves and just took it as it was and said, well, we're here on a paid vacation, and look at this is so cool, this is a 5-star resort and whatever, and look at that, we have our own spa, oh my god, that's amazing, and we have crossbridge noodles for the 3rd time, oh wow, that's amazing. So no, they weren't super happy, but they couldn't really express their feelings. I don't know why.
Maybe cultural, because there were people from where? Taiwan, Korea?
Exactly. So
that makes sense.
Taiwanese, one girl from Malaysia, a guy from the Philippines, and there was one guy from America who was as pissed as I was, and he actually left one day before I left.
Okay, so you guys just quit. You're like, screw this, we're out of here. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, in my case, I really wanted to stay until the end. But I told them, look, I need 3 to 4 hours computer time daily. I need to edit. I need to engage on my networks. That's my job.
Sure.
And so they approached me and said, okay, either you accept the schedule from now on, or we will book a flight for you.
Okay, just like
that. And I took the flight.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What did they do to replace you guys?
Well, it was quite offensive, to be honest. They hired actresses.
Oh, they hired actresses?
Yes, paying them, obviously. So I don't know if you get the irony. So they hire us, don't pay us, make us act for the camera, and in addition, we have to do our job as travel bloggers or vloggers by creating material. Sure. Which they wanted to have in the end, by the way, for free, obviously.
Yeah, they wanted a copy of all your materials.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they hire actresses who get paid and don't have to do the travel bloggers' work, right?
That's ridiculous.
So
yeah, it's a bit of a kick in the pants.
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's China. That's what you can expect if you get offered these kind of things. You have to bear that in mind. If you get one of those emails, if you get contacted, if you're living in China, I know there are a couple of new YouTubers in China who've already taken up these jobs, and you can see them being flown around, staying in hotels and doing the same thing that you were doing. And I would say that if you are a backpacker, if you've got nothing to lose, if you maybe don't have the money to travel by yourself, it's a great opportunity to go and see places. And it can be an adventure because yes, they do pay for your hotels and everything like that.
And the hotels are great, the restaurants are great, the sites are great.
Yeah.
Really, we did amazing stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, there's a lot to be taken away from it that's positive.
Yeah.
But you have to know what you're getting yourself into. So if you are a backpacker, or if you're somebody who maybe just doesn't have a job and you're offered this, sure, you might really enjoy it and you'll get to see something new. But for at least someone like myself who's already traveled around the country, on my own steam, there's no appeal. And for someone like yourself who actually has a schedule to meet, who has standards, it's just not on.
Yeah, so, exactly. That's what I told them. Already after 2 days, I think, I wrote the boss for the first time saying, look, I think I need to leave because if I stay until the end, I'll ruin either my business or my health, or in the worst case, both.
Yeah, sure. I understand.
Yeah.
Eating too much?
Eating too much food that I'm not used to, because I've never been to China before. It's my first time, and I really love it, but it was too much.
Sure.
And being more or less the only real Westerner there, because the American guy has been living in China for years already, so he knows how to use chopsticks, how to eat with chopsticks,
sure.
and he knows Chinese food. So I was the only real foreigner there.
Right.
I always had to ask for my chopsticks. Nobody asked me if I need them, and they saw like me eating and the food falling down from my chopsticks. It was so embarrassing.
Right.
And I didn't want to ask anymore, so I tried my best, but nobody asked me.
Okay, that's interesting.
And then the organs and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, that's very normal culture shock.
It's a cultural shock, and I totally get that they want us to try everything, the whole local stuff. I get that, and I'm really happy that they want us to try it. But please give at least one portion of fried rice, so you can try it, you can smell it,
and then you can still have your backup.
And then you have your backup, because if not, your stomach might not like it.
Absolutely. Well, look, thank you very much. The reason why I make my videos, everybody out there knows, is to just give people the knowledge and kind of prepare them if they're going to come to China, if they're living in China, and just to explain what it's really like here. So I think you may have inadvertently helped a lot of people out there, because
I hope so.
If you're a blogger or a vlogger, and you get basically contacted by a Chinese company because you were contacted from outside of China.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm usually contacted from within China, so I wasn't even aware that they were contacting them, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Outside bloggers and vloggers. If you're contacted by a Chinese company who wants to bring you over for one of these things, just realize what you're getting yourself into. It's not going to be a holiday, it's going to be a lot of work. It will. It always is. Everybody who's done one of these things, you're not the first person I've talked to. Sure, some of them really enjoy it, but at the same time, they've all had to work very hard. It's been early morning till evening, TV interviews, videos being made, tons of photos, lots of just here, there, and the next place. You don't get to stay in the same hotel for the same night twice.
Yeah,
it's always a different one.
Every night a new hotel, and this checking in, checking out is so stressful.
Sure.
And every time you have shootings, every time you need to restart. Like when you arrive to your room and you're already super tired because you've been out for hours and hours. You cannot even put your backpack somewhere because that would ruin the bed or whatever. So you have to start taking photos first. And you have to leave all your stuff outside of the room, and then after like 10 minutes, 15 minutes shooting, you can get your stuff inside, and then, oh no, I have to go to dinner. So rest time's over already.
Oh, it's terrible.
That's how it is. So my recommendation, if I can add that,
please do.
Is talk to them. Tell them how it normally is, because they think it's normal, and they think that, mainly we Westerners, we just don't want to work. They think that, but that's not true. We want to work. I want to work. I love my work.
Sure.
I just need to put the work in the stuff that I know is important for my business.
Sure.
And that will help them as well, because they are have benefits
Of
from
course they do,
my
yeah.
following, from everything that I do.
Sure.
But they have to let me do it.
Yeah.
So tell them how it's done and help them understand how we can do our work. Because if not, it's
exactly.
it's not working out
Well,
otherwise.
that's some good advice, and now you guys are well prepared. Thank you very much, Barbara Licious, as you call yourself, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Thank you.
Really, thank you for coming on, and can you do me a favor and tell everybody out there to stay awesome?
Stay awesome, everybody.
我们在
我们在
云南大学，我们在云南大学。Who are those guys? Do they work for us?
Our life in 10 days.
This can't go on like this. For me, it can, because I've been in